Did you just find out that you're testing positive for high-risk HPV on your Pap smear result? Well, in this video, I'm going to be talking you through the 5 steps, the 5 things I recommend that you do if you found out that you're testing positive for high-risk HPV. I'm Dr. Doni Wilson. I'm a naturopathic doctor and certified professional midwife, and I've been in practice for over 25 years, helping women to understand high-risk HPV and what they can do to protect themselves from cancer associated with high-risk HPV virus. So you're in the perfect place to learn exactly what you need to do, because I know how scary it can be when you first get those test results back from your gynecologist and it says positive to high-risk HPV. It might be type 16 or 18 or one of the other 14 types, high-risk types of HPV that are associated with cancer risk. And no matter which one is testing positive, or sometimes more than one, it can really trigger a lot of fear and anxiety and worry about what to do next. What can you do to protect yourself? How can you be proactive? And oftentimes your gynecology office, your doctor's office might be telling you, oh, just wait and come back in 3 to 6 months or a year, and there's nothing you can do about it, right? They might be saying that. So many women, I talk to thousands of women every year, and that's what they tell me, is that the doctor's office says, there's nothing you can do but wait and see if it causes abnormal cells or cancer. And I'm here to tell you, as someone who's been helping women for over 25 years, thousands of women around the world, I'm here to tell you that no, you don't just have to wait and see if it turns into cancer. There are steps you can take starting now. And so that's the purpose of this video, is to give you guidance on what can you do now. Because I know it's hard to find this information, and there's a lot of information out there, but it can still be very confusing and very overwhelming. And then unfortunately, what can happen is people get so confused and overwhelmed and hearing negative information about you can't do anything, and then you just end up stuck not doing anything. And when you're doing nothing, that's when it could potentially progress. And every woman who I've helped to reverse high-risk HPV and abnormal cells says to me that she wished she had found me and this information sooner. So I'm so glad you found me. Let's get into the 5 things to do starting now to help protect yourself. So number 1 is get a copy of your test results. If your doctor didn't already send them to you, maybe you can go into a portal and access them, or you can call the doctor's office. You might need to stop at the doctor's office and ask them for a copy of your results. I always recommend you have a copy in your hand or in your computer of your test results so that you can see it and you can save it and you can track it over time. And the second aspect of that is to find someone who can help you understand your results. I know that sometimes you might be asking the doctor, what do his results mean? And they really may not have time to talk it through with you. It's worth it to ask the doctor's office, but if they're still not giving you answers of what your results mean, then I welcome you to contact my office. We offer for you to be able to set up a free call with my team, and I have trained them to be able to look at your test results and help you to understand what they mean and what your next steps are. So I'll put a link down below so that you can set up a call, send us your results, and we can talk them through with you so you can understand what all that medical terminology means and what your options are. Okay, so that's step 1. Get your results, and let's get a time for you to talk them through with someone so you really know what you're dealing with. You know, anything in life, if we don't really understand what it means, or we don't really understand what the consequences are, then we're going to feel afraid and overwhelmed and confused, right? So better to get the information first so that you really know what you're dealing with and you can start to make problem-solving type decisions about it. Okay, so number 2 step to take is to know that it's absolutely possible for the human immune system to clear high-risk HPV virus. Now, many practitioners were not trained that because we didn't know that 20, 30 years ago. But now with the newest technology for testing for virus and viral titers, we are able to measure high-risk HPV virus, and we're able to determine when a person has fully cleared it. That's the language that's used in the research, is clearing the virus. So if you clear the virus, it's gone from your system, no detectable HPV. That does not mean that it's dormant. That means that it's gone. So that's what we're going for. We're going for a negative test result because, again, the advanced technology that's used for measuring HPV, which is a DNA type virus, we can measure the whether it's present, and the immune system, the human immune system, is built to not only clear the virus, but also remember the virus. So this way, if you're exposed to it again, it can fend it off again in the future. So we need to just figure out, why is your immune system not clearing it? If it's testing positive, it means your system hasn't cleared it yet. But that doesn't mean that it can't clear it. It can. We just need to support your immune system to clear the virus. Okay, so number 2 step is to start to understand that the immune system can clear the virus. And I have a lot of other videos here and under this playlist and wherever you're listening to me in a podcast about this aspect of how it's possible to clear HPV. So if you want to know more about that, then just keep listening. And I also offer a free online workshop periodically. It's a live workshop. And if you would like to come to the workshop where I teach you exactly how to support your immune system to clear HPV, then I welcome you to come to the workshop. I'll put a link down below to the How to Get Rid of HPV online workshop. And this way you can sign up for the next upcoming live workshop. Okay, number 3 is to know that the best way to help your system clear HPV and remember how to protect you from HPV going forward is to address what's making you susceptible. Why is it that your immune system hasn't cleared it? Right? We have to ask that question. Your immune system can clear it. Why hasn't it cleared it? And so in answering that question, why has your immune system not cleared the virus if it is capable of clearing the virus? Remember, millions of women are exposed to and test positive to HPV every year, but majority of them, more than 90%, clear the virus and no longer test positive. So if you're testing positive, it simply means your system has not yet cleared it. And what we can do to support you to clear it is to figure out what support your immune system needs. Now, what I do is I talk you through what I refer to as the 8 susceptibilities to HPV. I talk about this in when I work with patients one-on-one and when I work with program participants I have a group online program called Say Goodbye to HPV, and I also offer one-on-one care. And in both of those settings, we go through the 8 susceptibilities to HPV, and we help make sure you've addressed each and every one of them. Now, not everybody has all 8 susceptibilities. You might just have 1 susceptibility, or you might have 2 or 3 or 4. We need to figure out what's making you susceptible of those 8 and address it. And as we address those susceptibilities, your body will then be able to clear the virus. And the susceptibilities include nutrient deficiencies, right? If you think about it, if we have a nutrient deficiency, even of something like iron or B vitamins, it's going to decrease our immune system and our body's ability to protect us from high-risk HPV. So we need to, first of all, do lab work to find out if you have a nutrient deficiency, and then have a clinical nutritionist like me or a naturopathic doctor with clinical training to help you address those nutrient deficiencies so that you can clear the virus. We also need to be looking at your gut health, because what we know from research and clinical experience is that your digestive health impacts your vaginal health, right? So if this virus is able to exist vaginally, there's a high likelihood that there's something making you susceptible via your digestion, because we know the microbiome in the vagina is affected by the microbiome in the gut. So we have to trace it backwards and say, if the microbiome in the vagina is not protecting you, which, by the way, the microbiome in the vagina, that's the healthy bacteria. They're meant to protect you from HPV. They're meant to be your bodyguards and protect you from HPV. So if HPV is able to break through and be present, it means your vaginal microbiome may be disrupted. So we need to look at the vaginal microbiome, and we need to trace it back to your digestion and look at your gut microbiome and see, do you have bloating? Do you have gas? Is there bacterial overgrowth, yeast overgrowth? Let's address those things. Those are things that we can address using natural approaches, herbs, nutrients, probiotics, and so on. It takes you need a comprehensive clinical protocol, but it's absolutely possible to address those things. Now, it's not often addressed in a gynecology office, right? They don't often help you to address very well the vaginal microbiome, and they definitely don't help with the gut microbiome because they're focused on gynecology, right? But I can help you with your gut microbiome. And not only that, we also need to be looking for leaky gut and food sensitivities, because if you have leaky gut, what happens is the intestinal cells are not as healthy as they could be. The food you're eating, it could be even healthy food, is leaking through between the cells and triggering an immune response that's inflammatory. Now that inflammation is traveling throughout your whole body, and that can make you susceptible to high-risk HPV. You see, so we have to be looking at the gut and do some gut healing. We got to drop the inflammation, get you digesting your food better, absorbing your nutrients better, get the microbiome balanced, including the gut and the vaginal microbiome. We also need to be looking at other hormones in your body, everything from cortisol levels, because cortisol is our main stress hormone. And we know from research, all of this is backed in research, that when women are under a high amount of stress, including if you have a history of sexual abuse or trauma, particularly from childhood. So if you have adverse childhood events or trauma or abuse, and if you have a history of abuse in adulthood, then that increases your risk of HPV and cervical cancer. So we need to be considering, how did that stress and potential trauma and even abuse, how did it impact your cortisol levels, your stress hormone? And not just then walk away and forget about it, but there's things we can do to help correct it. So we measure your cortisol levels in saliva, and then we can help your body to get back to optimal cortisol levels using herbs and nutrients, depending on your particular pattern. It's very unique to you. Is your cortisol high at certain times a day? Is it low at certain times a day? Let's get the right herbs and nutrients for you. And we can also look at adrenaline levels, which are also impacted by stress. We can look at neurotransmitter levels in urine and help optimize them, which that only helps your body recover from stress so that you're not susceptible to the impact of stress, which is making you susceptible to HPV. I know how scary it can be when you get a pap smear result that shows positive for HPV and potentially abnormal cells. It's hard to know who to trust and where to get information to help you solve it. That's exactly why I decided to do something about it. I'm Dr. Doni, and after helping thousands of women over the past 2 decades to clear HPV to negative and keep it negative, I decided to create the HPV Kickstart program. This step-by-step online program is designed to teach you the essential knowledge you need for your body to heal itself. You'll get access to a comprehensive series of videos that will help guide you through the diet changes you can make, the supplements to take, as well as ways to address the underlying causes of the virus. You can clear the HPV virus. Just go to drdoni.com/kickstart or use the link below to get started. I'll see you there. We also need to look at other hormones like thyroid hormone, insulin function, and blood sugar levels. We need to look at estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. Is your estrogen high? Is your estrogen low? Let's address that. Are you in perimenopause, postmenopause? We need to address estrogen levels vaginally, because estrogen vaginally also impacts the vaginal microbiome. So we need to take all of these factors and more into account, including if you've had any toxin exposure, because we also know that toxins in the environment in our food, air, water, as well as mold toxins, for example, can really disrupt immune function and make you susceptible to infections like high-risk HPV virus. So we need to be taking all of this into consideration and help get it all rebalanced again. And as we re-optimize your nutrients, your hormones, your neurotransmitters, your microbiome, then your system starts working again and it's able to help protect you from high-risk HPV virus. And not just temporarily. We're not just going for a quick fix or temporary negative on HPV. By taking this kind of approach where you readdress what's depleted in your system, what's out of balance, we get it back to balance. You're not going to want to go back to imbalance again. We're going to help you to maintain that level of balance going forward so that you can continue protecting yourself from HPV, even if you're exposed in the future. Okay, so this is not about short-term results. This is about long-term results. And this leads me to number 4. Step number 4 is to understand that you really need a comprehensive supplement plan. For a lot of people, it's very tempting to go purchase 1 or 2 supplements or even 10 supplements because you heard that they would help, but it's not in a comprehensive strategic plan, right? So if you're just grabbing, let's say, a mushroom extract or some extra vitamin C, or even if it's vitamin D, vitamin E, now you've got a bunch of random nutrients and herbs or mushrooms, but it's not in a comprehensive protocol that's thought through by a expert who's trained to help you with the use of natural substances, right? So I really want to warn you, too often I see, I appreciate, I think it's a good thing that you're trying to be proactive, you're trying to learn, you're trying to find supplements you can take. I really applaud that and appreciate that. So usually when people meet with me, what we do is we look at what do you already have? What are you already doing that's working? And what's missing? So I come into it to say, let me look at what you're already doing. And this way I can show you, here's oftentimes what I find is we need to increase some doses to clinical doses. And this is not something you're going to find anywhere online, because clinical dosing comes when I went to a doctorate degree program, right? So I have a doctorate degree, let alone prior training as in my bachelor's degree in nutrition. And so, it's not something you just find overnight. It takes that training and experience and continuing education to know, this is the right dosing and the right products and the highest quality products and how these products work together in the right dosing, right? So I wouldn't, a lot of times I think as women, we think, I can figure this out on my own. I'm going to be able to just pick a couple supplements and solve this. And I'm just here to tell you that in some cases that might work, but most cases that I see, women have been trying to take something on their own and the HPV is not going away yet. So if it's not going away yet, it says to me, you need an expert to help you, right? Like if something goes wrong in your house, let's say the toilet breaks, you're not going to expect that you're going to figure out how to fix the toilet. You're going to go hire a plumber who is an expert in fixing toilets. So this is what I'm just want to point out to you, is that there are experts like me who exist who can help you. So that's number 5, is to find a practitioner who is an expert in helping you to create a comprehensive protocol of supplements to help you address anything that's making you susceptible to HPV so that you can successfully clear it as soon as possible. And so I will put my contact information down below in the notes as well. Again, you can reach out to my office for a free call so that we can look at your results with you and help you understand what next steps are for you. We can also share with you about how I do the free online workshop, and you can sign up for that, and how you can then potentially come to work with me either in a group setting or in a one-on-one setting so that I can guide you to come up to address the 8 susceptibilities and to come up with a comprehensive supplement protocol that matches for your body, right? It's not the same for everybody. We need to know your body, your situation, and dial in the doses specific to you and your lab results. So you need a practitioner who is familiar, to know the right tests to do, the right information to get in order to create a supplement protocol that's going to be specific to you. Also, when you're working with a practitioner, you're going to get access to vaginal suppositories, which it can be very hard to get access to vaginal suppositories that are effective, especially in the United States where they're highly regulated. So it really requires that you work with a practitioner who can supervise you and help you to get access from the highest quality, safe, and effective vaginal suppositories using herbs, nutrients, and probiotics that have been shown to help your body to clear high-risk HPV vaginally so that your body can heal it. Your body can clear the virus, you can heal the vaginal area, you can build up your resilience, your ability to protect you from high-risk HPV going forward. So I hope this has been helpful. I'm encouraging you to write out these steps. I'll also put down below a quick version of these steps so that you can even print it out and have it in front of you and check off the list as you go. Because I know that when you follow these 5 steps, you're going to be, first of all, you're going to feel so much more empowered because you're not going to have to feel like you're figuring it out on your own, and you're going to have an expert to guide you. Also, when you follow these steps, you're way more likely to clear the virus and prevent abnormal cells and high-risk HPV or cancer, high-risk HPV-related cancer now and into the future. And that's huge. You know, like when I talk to women who have successfully followed my protocol and cleared the virus, and I ask them how you feel, they say how they feel this huge sense of relief and happiness and empowerment and just excitement now for their life, because now they know they can protect themselves from cancer and they can go on to do what they love and continue to improve their health. If you would like to watch more testimonials or watch videos or read women who've worked with me, then I'll put that link down below as well so that you can hear directly from them what it feels like to finally take your control back of your health, your body, your future, and take steps that actually are helping women to clear HPV. Now, some women say to me, "Oh my gosh, is this too good to be true?" And believe me, as a practitioner, sometimes I'm like, wow, is this really happening? And I'm telling you time and time again. Now, it's not that it's like some magic that's happening. These women are working hard. So it does, and it's all based on science, research, and clinical experience. So it's not that we're just saying that this can happen out of nowhere. We're saying this can happen when you actually start putting the research and science into action for your body. We can do that. We can make that happen. And as you take those steps to implement, to look inside and say, hey, is there something on even a mind, body, spirit level that's making me susceptible to this virus? Let me lean in to the possibility that I can heal by addressing what's making me susceptible and having a comprehensive plan and having support. Then that's how these women are being successful at clearing the virus, healing their cervix, and preventing it from happening again. So it's absolutely possible. And so I encourage you to watch the testimonials. And if you'd like to learn more, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to support you. So thanks again for joining me for this video. And I hope it was helpful for you. And I'm happy to connect with you if you have more questions and need more support with this. All right. Take care. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to How Humans Heal. If you liked this episode, leave a rating and a review. And for more resources, visit drdoni.com.